Hello everyone, this is Akuchi back with some more Dominion. Be playing another league match in the A division. I'm going to be playing against Zanderg, who was in the A championship match last season, but I've never played them. They have made strong progress in the league recently. And we're off. So Black Cat is another cheap um, attack that we can pair with Urchin, but it's not particularly. Actually, does that guarantee collision? No. No, no, no. So double urchin is probably correct. How does Carpenter look here? It's okay. We get draw from Litter, but we can also get draw from Mapmaker and Black Cat, and Carpenter can gain either of those latter two cards. So I think at some point we'll want to get Carpenter. Wealthy Village with loot is probably the payload. We could play with a pirate as well. Probably better to pirate for gold than to buy it, and we are going to need to buy it unless we get a potion, which, is not very good. So deck control, silver, gold, buy wealthy village, that kind of thing. Wow, Tactician open. Huh. That is interesting. So we hit 5. Which means we're going to hit 2 next time around. I think I'll go ahead and get a litter, because then I'll pick up Black Cat next time. And I'll be in a pretty good spot. Vis-a-vis drawing actions and such. Oh, is there like a launch tactician kind of thing? I guess. You don't really get a whole lot from it at this stage in the game, but it is something you can do later on. I'm probably going to go without. This just seems like maybe too much effort for the amount of draw you get, especially on this kingdom. I already have 2 draw cards. I'm about to get Mercenary, which is very good at thinning. Alright, I have debt, which is not great. So we probably want to get a silver. So is our opponent going to skip Urchin and Mercenary entirely? That would be a bit surprising. So if we hit 4, we get Carpenter. If we hit 5, we get Pirate, I think. If we... Yeah, that seems correct. There are ultimately plenty of villages. What is going on here? Zanderg thinking long and long and long and hard. Unless something is frozen on my end. They haven't trashed a copper, so they're just holding on to one for no reason. Okay, we're done. I'm a little surprised by gold over pirate. I think I'll go. I don't want to necessarily trigger a shuffle, so I think I go Mercenary launch and then maybe not play Black Cat unless I see litter. In fact, I might not even launch. Yeah, I don't launch because I didn't see litter. So we could buy gold. The plus buy situation does make me think gold might be better than pirate. Hmm. No, I think pirate's better. It is a terminal action, which I'd rather not have. And if we get the gold now, we might just be able to buy Wealthy Village. It's pretty easy to add payload via Wealthy Village. I think I'll just do that. Show me the gold. Pirate can't even gain Philosopher's Stone. Not that I would want to. So, what do we have? A 1 out of 3 chance? I think we want to launch anyway. Yeah. Alright. We don't get there. But hopefully this turn. So now we caught up on trashing. I guess we had one extra turn though. But our deck has a more better other stuff going on. Really need some plus buy ASAP. Our opponent has plus buy from Tactician, which is nice. So our opponent didn't play any raise. I wonder why. Okay. Interesting. So setting this up before they get Wealthy Village and loot and such. Trying to do this double tack with launch thing. Alright. Map maker. We can Carpenter for a silver here, but it doesn't really do us much. Much good. I think we want to go with reliability. which should be another map maker. All right, we got close by. Now we're cooking. Our opponent should at least be attacking us with Urchin. Now, is it worth keeping the Mercenary attack up? Unclear. I wonder if this is going to be a 3-hour match. I'm just going to assume my opponent's not doing anything, and not that I have a glitch. Figurehead, not what my opponent wants. I guess I maybe didn't need to play that other litter. I hadn't considered that. Yeah, let's go ahead and gain a silver. Hmm. We can puzzle box the black cat. Our opponent still doesn't have an urchin. Although we can also puzzle box the wealthy village, which would be even better. I'm thinking about launch here. Alright, let's just do that. Oh no, I need to play the puzzle box first. I think there's no reason not to play everything. Let's do that. Then we can, sure. I mean, the launch doesn't accomplish anything. I mean, it gets us a... Oh, actually, it does accomplish something. Maybe another wealthy village would be good. getting good draws. And then we can go with Black Cat, which definitely seems better than Raise. Looking real good. And at some point we can trash silvers that we gain via Carpenter. We could be playing with multiple Carpenters. I'll consider that this turn. It keeps the Mercenary attack online more. So I assume we had 2 coppers, yeah. So we can Mercenary trash coppers here, but then next turn we can consider trashing silvers if it's worthwhile. Maybe even with a Black Cat. Lots of possibilities. Our deck is very online. Okay, not raising. Maybe they could have raised. Prize Goat's a good one. Alrighty. Play at least one litter. That seems obvious. It's not obvious that I want to play this other litter. Oh. Well, now it is. Yeah, let's do the Carpenter thing. Why not? Do we even want to do this? No, let's undo that. Okay. So we can play the puzzle box later. Let's go ahead and do it now. I guess I can do double. Yeah, that's a lot of gain and play. And we could play a Carpenter here to gain a silver. We also have this spell scroll, which I guess can be a wealthy village. Let's go ahead and map maker. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and gain a map maker here. I'm mean, we could just empty wealthy villages and start greening next turn. Seems pretty good to me. And doubloons was good because we can carpenter to gain provinces by trashing gold and such. I think we've restricted our opponent to just one, like a one figurehead and one prize goat. And we're going to go after points this turn pretty much entirely, I think. We might be able to win. With salt the earth, but I kind of doubt it. 4 times 6 is quite a lot of money. That was a very good spell scroll. Pretty close, though, to being able to end it. But if not, whatever. We'll do it next turn. We can potentially do something a little bit sneaky here. If our opponent plays Mapmaker or Black Cat in response to us getting green, we can reserve playing our sword until after they do that. Do like launch, play sword kind of thing. Maybe we can win. We should have 7 times. If we ignore the gold and the doubloons that we're going to trash, we should have 7 times 3 worth of loot. which is 21, and then we have an extra gold and 2 silvers. And 2 litters, but yeah, that should all work. I think we have a win. Oh, that's annoying. So I'm not planning to not play the Mercenary. Um, well. That doesn't make it less likely for me to kick off my turn. I do need those cards to win, I'm pretty sure. Well, I definitely want to play litter, so let's do that. Now let's go ahead and map maker. Carpenter is pretty important, but so is sword. Okay, this is looking good. This is my last map maker, but I do have a black cat. I think, if possible, I want the map maker to trigger the shuffle. I'm not sure if I have it. Actually, this might be bad. Alright, let's at least hammer to get another map maker heading into the shuffle. Yeah. Hmm. I don't think I have it. I wonder if I should keep the shield in hand. But it's just curses, and just one, I think. It's no big deal. Hmm. Yeah, let's just do that. So I don't have a black cat, I don't think. Let's go ahead and puzzle box the Mercenary. And yeah, we'll play everything. This brings us up to 15. This brings us up to 18. Yeah, let's just do it now. And we'll just win next turn. Sure wish I saw some cards I'd rather discard. I think I'll only play them. He plays Mercenary first, probably. Maybe Urchin's enough. Nah. But they've already launched. So if they gain any green card, which they don't, I would have done a thing. Should be here. Okay. Won the first game. It took 45 minutes. Let's hope that's not a sign of things to come. Not the norm. So here we have I guess Seer draws pretty well. We need Sentry for trashing. Courtier's okay. It's not great. Probably good to open Fishmonger, which pretty much guarantee that we hit 5. I suppose Fishmonger, double Fishmonger, or Fishmonger nothing does guarantee we hit 5. But so does Fishmonger Silver. And Silver looks pretty good. It can be drawn with Seer. And that gives us an opportunity, however slim, to hit double 5. Armory's pretty good, but it's not great. Okay, odds are looking up. Looking good. Double Sentry. Very fortunate. Then we're going to go for Seer Armory, I think. Well, that's a very nice turn from Zanderg. I mean, it would be better if he had managed to trash non-coppers with the sentry. I don't know if they hit 5 or not. Depends whether they have silver in hand, right? Top text 2 sentries. Well, our opponent will get to play their 3rd sentry before we do, most likely. It's not good that we have this overgrown estate in our hand here, triggering the shuffle with sentry. Not great. I guess Seer doesn't draw overgrown, like any of the shelters, which shouldn't matter much, since we're not trashing from hand anyway. It might even be an upside. Ooh, another fishmonger. Well, I'm wrong. I do get to play another sentry, which is nice. Yeah, we get rid of the Necropolis. Do we top deck the armory? Yeah, okay. So we could get nobles and plan to play it for plus actions. Seer isn't great here. Like at this particular instant. And at least now we have a dual type that we can target with Courtier. Our opponent is in some ways ahead of us. They have 2 extra Wandering Minstrels. An extra Fishmonger. Ah! Okay. We just trash 1. I guess. Um, well, on the other hand, we really want to see the nobles if we can. We do not. Actually, yeah, that didn't quite work out that turn. Drawing Overgrown Estate was very displeasing. Our opponent is a Lurker. Why? What's their plan? Okay. I'm a little confused about what will happen when I trash this Overgrown Estate. I'm thinking I don't gain anything. Which is mildly annoying. Yeah. Okay, so here we pick up Courtier, I think. I've never played with Wandering Minstrel and Shadow cards, but it looks like the interaction is fine. Unlucky from our opponent to not find their Overgrown Estate with Sentry. And they might even trigger a bad shuffle. I guess I can play Armory, gain Wandering Minstrel. Don't they have a Seer? Was it at the bottom of the deck? I think it makes sense for us to play Wandering Minstrel first. to set up our sentry. If we even need to. We only have just 1 copper, but probably good to trash it. Well, 2 coppers total. 1 copper in our deck. Maybe Seer isn't great anymore. I mean, it's pretty good, because it draws Wandering Minstrel and Armory. And there are plenty of villages, so we can play with more armories. I mean, no more than 2, but it's not unreasonable to play with 2 armories. Oh boy. Is this going to be a 4-hour match? Yes, yes, yes. Then you play Wandering Minstrel. What? Wandering Minstrel? Not nobles? That's surprising. We might as well put this minstrel on top. There's just silver down there. Okay. That's all good and fine. Oh. Okay, yeah. This is all fine. So we play that. We play this, which gains gold and coins. We can top deck a minstrel here. Because we know the copper's there. I'll trash it. And we can get Noble's Minstrel. I think I like taking the last Minstrel. And we can always get an extra +5 from our Courtier. But more importantly, well, but we can also get +5 from Armory. Multiple ways to do that. I suppose I could have used Armory to get a Lurker and then lurked the Minstrel. I think that might have worked. But I might have been short in action that turn. But that's a trick we can pull in the future. And we have more money than our opponent, which will be good for Mountain Pass. But I don't think I'm in a big rush to get a province. Maybe I should, for these longer matches, pause the recording during my opponent's thinky terms. High effort would be to edit it after the fact, but I'm not doing that. The risk of pausing it is that I forget to unpause. But dead space where I'm not talking and my opponent's not doing anything is no good for the YouTube, so I think I'll give it a try. Second Lurker, okay. I'll probably end up gaining a fishmonger this turn, I think. Because I think I'd like courtier to gain a gold. And then I probably want to pick up like courtier nobles, maybe something else. If I don't have the money, village. If I do have the money, maybe a seer or another nobles. Something like that. Oh, hey. I bet there's a shelter that has 3 types. Nope, they all have 2 types. Oh well, that would have been clever. Alas. I guess I could pick up a Wandering Minstrel if I grab a Lurker. The 2 piles are going to run. It's not obvious what the 3rd pile is going to be. I expect we'll dip into villages. Courtier will have some. Seer will have some. But nothing is destined to get real low. It was copper that got discarded, which is nice. Um, okay. I think I'm out of treasures, so I suppose we might not hit what we're trying to hit here. Yeah, that was the risk. Oh well. And then this might as well be a fishmonger that we gain from armory. I guess it can be another armory, right? Do we want to do that? So how much money do we have? We have 13, gonna have 14. We will get a village there. Hmm. I mean, it's generally nice to use. Oh, we're... Okay, we have an action problem here. So I think we just need to gain the fishmonger, unfortunately. It's a little bit awkward. I mean, we can gain a lurker. No, but we want that plus buy, don't we? I suppose we could go without. Plus buy. So one option here. It's good to get the nobles, I think, while we can. Yeah, it's not great, but that's what we're gonna do. So what we're going to do... That copper's in hand, that's not good. Ooh, dead turn from our opponent. Buying out the lurkers. Huh. I don't want that armory. Alright, well that looks good. Okay. So now we have silver gold there. We can armory. We probably just need a village here, I think. Yeah, maybe we just buy 3 nobles if we can. I don't think we're at any risk of losing that way. Alright, so can we do that? I think we can already. 9, 14, 17. So we could do... We could do no double nobles province. It's a little bit risky. I kind of like it. Not sure what the right amount of debt to pay here is. I'm thinking 13 is the right amount. Zanderg thought the same thing. So we had quite a lot of money this turn. We can't push the end of the game as fast as Zanderg. So if Zanderg gets us, they have 12 VP. They have some ways to gain cards that aren't buying them. Me buying cards isn't super important. I think I'll take it. Especially because I get to... Yeah, I got the extra 3 coins to pay off. Yeah, definitely the right choice there. So I have 5 nobles, my opponent has 2. I like those odds. Or that ratio. Oh wow, that's an incredible seer. Our courtiers this turn probably don't gain gold. They can be plus action or plus buy. 4 lurkers is pretty wild. But it's good if you're playing with seer draw, I guess. My opponent has 2 coppers left in their deck. We have 1. Do they have the fourth lurker? Yeah. Okay. Hmm. I'm a little surprised by that. Are they gonna have a clean shuffle? Didn't they have a nobles? I'm confused by that end of that turn. Yeah, they drew a nobles. They didn't end up playing it. They totally should have. We're on track for a 3.5 hour match. Hmm. I tried out the pause thing in the recording, but the tricky thing is my opponent is taking a lot of time between a lot of different decisions, so it's a lot of pausing and unpausing. Oh my goodness. 5 lurkers. I think we'll probably sentry here. Then again, it'd be nice to trash that copper, but I think it's a little too late in the game for that. We might be able to empty lurkers. I think that'll be our goal this turn. Doesn't cost much money. Yeah, so let's just make sure we have a good turn coming up. Okay. Think we have it. So 12, yeah, I mean, we should have it. 12, 14, 20. Yeah, it's there. Alrighty. Got the first two games. On to game 3. Ooh. Practice Inventor is pretty interesting. Especially with a Villa. So the trashing here is just Tanuki, but it's okay if we can gain encampments. So we want to open with Inventor, no doubt. I'm not sure what else we want to open with. So the draw is encampment. Potentially tide pools. So tide pools with guide, that's kind of interesting. I think the synergy is not as good as you might expect. I'm trying to remember the reason for that. Well, the tide pools still stay out, so you need like twice as many. They're definitely not bad. So silver's pretty good in the short term. Guide is better in the long term. Opens encampment. I think I want a silver right now. Even hitting 4 is good. Now this is no good. Like, this is straight terrible. So I'm trying to decide if I should get a quarry or a second inventor. I think I actually want a quarry. It's pretty darn good with a villa, and that's an understatement. We might even want to play with 2 quarries. So we don't actually need to reveal the practice interaction in case our opponent hasn't noticed it, because it comes to the same thing. We gain a 4 and a 5 cost card. The only difference would be if we gained a villa, which we could. Okay, that actually seems correct, because we can get an encampment too. Yeah, that all seems correct to me. We can get Villa, Tanuki, Quarry, encampment here. Oh, we can't get that encampment. Alright, what do we want? Do we get a tide pools? We have a guide. It is probably for the best. We can also get another quarry, potentially. I think I'd rather get an inventor. I mean, we could also get 2 encampments. We might even be able to get a gold. Yeah, let's go ahead and get 2 encampments, maybe. It'd be nice if we found a quarry. Quarry into practice inventor is really good. That's maybe an argument to get another quarry, but there's no rush to that. We can do that once we get a little more deck control. And by that I mean any deck control. Oh, hey, I hadn't considered that. Practice Tanuki is pretty good. We definitely could have done that. We would have 1 fewer encampment, but we'd have 1 less copper. That's probably correct. Whoops. Unlucky. Wheelwright's not too bad if we have cost reduction. Hmm. But maybe the most important thing is to find our inventor with the quarry, because that's really good. So I think I might get another inventor. Did not work out. Yeah, unlucky. Shoot. We have like a really good synergy. We just need to get to it. I think I do need to get a guide. Oh, our opponent called guide, their only guide, and then played 2 tide pools. So their next turn is just guaranteed to be terrible, right? Unless they can gain and play a guide this turn, which they might be able to. Yeah, maybe they can do it. Hmm. Because they have another tide pools. And this has to be a guide, I think. Unless there's a they can get another inventor and gain and play it. I guess they can Tanuki for guide. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, this is a really good turn from our opponent. Huh. The double villa is surprising. I guess it's to get all the encampments. Or possibly even some tide pools. I'm not sure. Wait, that has to be a guide, doesn't it? I'm so confused. But you have no next turn. Alright, well. Let's just get these tide pools. I don't know how important they're going to be, but I'm just. I don't want to take chances. If, like, we can just empty the villas really easily in this kingdom. This is. This is nuts. In fact, if Border Village costs 1, we can just empty Border Village and Villa. Which we're actually really close to doing. Huh. I wonder if we can win this turn. I think we don't quite have the draw. We do have an encampment. Mm. If we didn't have our tide pools in this hand, I would call guide. But we do. But yeah, there's bonkers pile potential here. I don't think I can in good conscience call guide here. Oh, we have an extra inventor. I think I want to keep the encampment. We can't, like... Can't do crazy things. Hmm. So we can just buy encampments. They're free, basically. So is guide. That's basically free. So I am thinking about a villa. Hmm. I am thinking about a villa. It potentially makes it harder for my opponent to pile out, ironically. Oh, need to buy the encampment first. Well, this is not ideal to have to discard both of our encampments, but you know, these things happen. Yeah, we needed to focus on trashing more. That's where our opponents got a big advantage. They've thinned one more copper and one more estate than us. And they have fewer stop cards. We have an extra inventor and quarry. And possibly an extra of 2 villas. And an extra 2 plunders. Shoot, and our opponent's got a bunch of encampments too, which they can potentially hold on to. Yeah, this could be a win for our opponent. We'll see. No, it looks like we both have the 2 villas. Yeah, this is a pretty crazy board. Looks like my opponent's doing some stuff. Yep. I thought that Quarry would be important, but I never lined it up in the way that I wanted. What do you know? Tide pools ended up being super important. Look at all these horizontal cards. I was mistaken before. I was like, we're on track for a 3.5 hour match, but we were actually on track for a 4.5 hour match, but now 3:40. Okay, contract can't work around landing party. But rapid expansion can. So landing party's awesome. Uh, so should I skip Exorcist? I mean, Exorcist Expedition is pretty good. It's a pretty good open. But Landing Party Expedition or Landing Party Silver is also a good open. Because we can potentially, if we get lucky, we can Stonemason for Junk Dealer. Hmm. If we had 6, that's like the unlucky number to hit with Landing Party Expedition. How important is like Wisp? It's pretty good. We can also get imps from nomads. But I don't know. I'm gonna try skipping Exorcist here. Our opponent bought silver and didn't get expedition. That's bonkers. Oh, hold on. It's not bonkers. It all makes sense now. Whoops. Oh, actually, um, I there's still a chance we don't hit it, so I think we just need to spend the favor. It would have worked out, but we didn't know that. Yeah, we're kind of not in a great spot. So plus buy comes from nomads. I think we need to play this landing party, unfortunately. If we had 4, we get nomads, I think. I don't know. We're probably going to hit 5 anyway. But it's not a guarantee. Our opponent managed to play their junk dealer before me. Now that's annoying. We could choose to not trigger the shuffle. That is an option. Just discard the landing party. We have a 50% chance of hitting 4. But when we don't hit 4, I think it's really bad. Yeah, I think it's better to... Hmm. So if we hit 3, what do we get? Has to be Silver Lighthouse. Hmm. And if we hit 4, we get a Nomads, I think. Which is pretty good. Or we trigger the shuffle, we get another junk dealer. And maybe we have a good next turn. This kind of, I don't... Okay, we hit. Alright. I think I want this. I think it's just good to have in the deck. I'm just getting very good draws, which is frustrating. So, do we go for another landing party now? Probably. It's just a good card to have in our deck. And our junk dealer misses the shuffle again. This is atrocious draws. Just the absolute worst. At least we can probably pursue to clean up the shuffle, which is the advantage of having the nomads. But geez, this is awful. What is Lighthouse protecting against? Nothing. Yeah. Oh, I'm wrong. We already played the junk dealer. My bad. Now it misses the shuffle, but that's okay. I think I'm happy to go stonemason for landing parties. We'll eventually get the tea house. Maybe we should have just got landing party lighthouse. I can believe that. Maybe all the draw isn't actually that necessary. Hmm. Although, there's definitely some gain and play opportunities. Like, if we have 5 cost cards and we stonemason them into nomads, that's worth 4 coins right there. Which is really good. Not to mention what we can gain and play. So I think having a bunch of landing parties, we can somehow translate that into a win. I just think we maybe should be focusing more on trashing. Unclear. Our opponent has a tea house. Nice. Please play it fast as you can. All right, so we can get a second junk dealer or we can get a tea house. I think the tea house is where it's at. We should get a contract at some point. Um, just so we have the option of playing with Expedition. Oh, rapid expansion makes the stonemason gain and play stuff a little bit more complicated. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, probably more tea houses is what I want to do. Suppose I could get another junk dealer, but nah. Could also get a city. I mean, landing party is just better than city. Our opponent did not play a bunch of tea houses, so unlucky. Maybe we'll find a tea house here or more. That'd be nice. Yeah, if we get two tea houses, not likely, but be very nice. Oh, so close. All right, with 6, what do we want to do? So we're guaranteed to hit like rapid expansion territory next turn. I think we stonemason. Actually, we can. No, we don't have 2 bias. It's maybe too many stonemasons, but I'm gonna stonemasons for nomads and a landing party. Hmm. Full draw from our opponent. Oh, beyond full draw. But we have more payload in our deck, and we've got these landing parties that are going to come online not this turn, but next turn. So I still feel pretty good about my position. I do need a contract. That's important. Hmm. I hope my opponent can't win next turn. They might be able to. But they can't do gain and play stuff, so at least we got that. Oh, that's like a defensive city. I mean they want plus action, I guess. So they don't need much. They honestly should have gotten 2 landing parties. But I mean it's probably fine. Womp womp. Alright. So we can buy Pursue. I think that will guarantee our turn. And the lighthouse doesn't really accomplish anything. So I think we pursue a tea house. If we find it, great. If we don't find it, then it's in the bottom 5 cards. So we're guaranteed to see it. I didn't even realize I had a landing party down there. I'm not feeling so good about our chances anymore. I really thought the landing parties would be big. Our opponent got like perfect draws with their Exorcist, though. It never missed a state, never missed a shuffle. I think if our opponent gets slightly worse draws, which is to say average draws, we're just way ahead at this point. Alas, we are slightly behind, I think. Can our opponent win this turn, I think, is the real question now. Seems likely. Seems likely. I missed that the stonemasons were also going to be set aside with rapid expansion. That's really powerful. But didn't they trash their other stonemason? They did. I have 3. Our opponent has just those 2. They might not be able to win it. Hold on, they need to. If they stonemason for tea house, stonemason for tea house, stonemason for stonemason, that wins. But I don't think they have the money for that. So I think they have the stonemason for nomads. But then how do they get the last nomads? Okay, looks like they have 4 buys. So maybe they can do it. Stonemason for nomads twice, buy nomads. That costs net 6, and then they can just stonemason for stonemason lighthouse or estate, whatever. Yeah. Wait, can they get estate from it? No. So they have. Maybe they can't win. Maybe they can empty but not get points at the same time. Because they're out of nomads. Yeah, I don't see it. I think it was a big mistake for them to trash their stonemason last turn. If they had stonemason in hand, they'd be able to win. I'm pretty sure. Because you could stonemason exorcist for stonemason estate. Then you just buy 3 stonemasons, targeting nomads each time, and you win. They clearly didn't need the second imp. Wait, did they even get a second imp? No, they got a 4th will-o-wisp, which they also didn't need. I'm still not sure I can win, but I don't think our opponent can win this turn. And they could have if they hadn't trashed stonemason. I guess we should think about our potential for ending it. At the moment, we can tie if our opponent doesn't get any VP. We can do better than that. Duchy might be sufficient. It's gonna be tricky. I'm thinking that we can potentially tie. We have nothing that costs more than 5 in deck, which is the problem. So we need to gain, like, use our stonemasons to gain at least 2 estate, or at least 4 estates. I think our opponent can just, like, can win next turn. So I really just want to push a tie if I can. And I think we can. So in case it matters, I'll spend the favor here. Okay, so do we have the tie here? Um, because we have our three buys. I mean, I think the problem is we have more copper, but we also have two tea houses, but we're not guaranteed to see them. We also have a landing party. I think it's very unlikely that we just draw two copper, but it is possible. And so if we have the tie here, should we take it? I'm pretty sure we have the tie because we can play two nomads. That brings us up to 11 coins. Stonemason for nomads. Cost 6, we get 4, so we're at 9. Stonemason for nomads. Same deal, we're at 7. Stonemason for nomad. So we can take a tie right now. If we draw, but what's the best we can do? The best we can do is we get landing party into landing party, and then we have 3 stonemasons along with junk dealer and 2 tea houses, and then we can win. Well, well, well. That's a tricky call. Do we go for the guaranteed tie? Hold on, hold on, hold on. We can stonemason a junk dealer into nomads and stonemason. And then we have an extra buy. So if we did that, we'd have an extra 2 coins. So we'd now be up to 13. We'd go down to 11, we'd go down to 9, we just buy a province. Right? So I think we just have it in hand. Yeah. And I don't even need the landing party in that case. So we can just get more money from it. 13, go down to 11, go down to 9. Yeah, I think it all works. Okay. All right, we got 3 games, 2 left. I can't press ready. All right. Two games left, my start on game 5. Hmm. Do we not have any draw here? Not really. Well, that's a problem. That is a problem. So we should probably open Grotto. And then we could open Courier, or we could open Salvager. I prefer to get to trashing these estates earlier. Maybe we get Tanuki later. We probably should be playing with a Tanuki. But if we open like Grotto Courier or Grotto Silver, there's no guarantee that we actually get to Tanuki. So I prefer the Salvager. Oh, our opponent had a very good split. Do an acting troop in terms of plus actions, so we can potentially play with a bunch of couriers. Which actually plays pretty nicely with Grotto if you want to like put something good in that Grotto set aside. You can play it with Courier the next turn. We're gonna have all 3 estates trashed by turn 6. That's really solid. I think we'll buy acting troop turn 6. Lethargic pace. Ooh, they didn't see their grotto. That's good for us. Double Tanuki. Oh, this is going to trigger a shuffle. Interesting. I don't know why I miscounted, or how I miscounted. Hmm. Oh, we're not very likely to see our grotto, are we? Hmm. Is merchant ship better than gold here? I don't think so. Especially because gold can be tanukied into province. And gold is definitely better than bank, I think. Well, maybe one bank is better, but no more than one. I don't even one. Like, I don't think we're gonna be regularly playing four more treasures in a turn, so I think gold is safer. Especially if we're gonna like Tanuki a gold. I don't know how I miscounted that. 7 minus 3 is definitely less than 5. I should have realized. Or rather, 5 plus 3 is greater than 7. But I also was under the mistaken impression that there'd be a grotto down there. Hey, that was lucky. Okay. We have options here. We have options here. I think I need an acting troupe. That much I'm pretty confident about. I think I'm okay with a third grotto. I think that helps. I think that's good. I think it's nice reliability to have. So, oh shoot, we're gonna just draw that Tanuki. Hmm, not ideal. Hmm. Should we just Tanuki this courier? Hmm. I'm actually thinking of a different approach. None of them look great to me. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get rid of this courier. We just get golds and couriers and such. Smugglers! I didn't even realize my opponent picked up a smugglers. That's rude. So this Tanuki is basically a remodel in my deck right now. I'll put a grotto in here. Whatever. I guess our opponent's trashed more copper than us. 2 to 1, maybe. That's my assumption. I'm considering buying a province this turn, especially if our opponent smuggles a gold. That's a lot of aqueduct points. Courier is really bad in my current deck. Now, my opponent's in a position where they're not really set up with the grottos like I am. It's been a while since they've even played a grotto, I think. Oh, they've trashed a grotto. So they don't even have to. Are they just done with grottos? That seems weird. Yeah. Wow, look at that. That's wacky. they doing? I was kind of hoping they would get a gold. Hmm. Do I even want to trigger this shuffle? I feel like I don't. Oh, our opponent took the aqueduct points. Oh, well, we're definitely not doing that then. All right, give me some aqueduct points. Don't you dare take a green card. Yeah, I'm gonna lose because of aqueduct. That's annoying. That is annoying. 5 EP is like a lot. I have 3 golds, my opponent has 1. So that's good. This is like an unexpectedly good turn from our opponent, I think. But yeah, they have a very action heavy deck too. This is kind of crazy. Maybe they can win by just milling. Yeah, they probably just win. That's a bummer. If we get a duchy, our opponent can smuggle it. So maybe the best play is to get gold province. But then our opponent can smuggle the gold. Hmm. Man, yeah, this sucks. Even if we get 9 VP, we're kind of just screwed. So let's just try to push a longer game, I guess. I don't know. No, we'll play the Vagrant. Like, we definitely double province next turn, so if our opponent just gets a province, or even gold province, we're in good shape. But if our opponent just mills and gets a province, we're also in rough shape. I don't know what we can do about that. And there's the smugglers. Oh, they might not have the actions if they didn't draw their acting troop, though. I guess that's my hope. And in terms of gold, they have one. Ah, come on. Bottom deck that acting troop. They didn't set that up in any way, did they? That was just pure luck. Right? Yeah. There's no setup for that. That's just pure luck. That's dumb. That's dumb. That's a frustrating loss. I feel like just we had a better strategy, but we got outmaneuvered on the aqueduct points, which put us in a really bad spot. If our opponent just doesn't see the acting troop, we win, I think. That's the frustrating thing. Maybe it's not a guarantee. If they get like duchy and then they can next turn get like province duchy, they can win. But at least we have a chance if they don't see that acting troop. All right. Probably. There is populate, which means maybe we skip potion, get university that way. So we either get page potion or we get page dungeon, I think. Whoa, dungeon bauble. What even is that? I think skipping potion sounds fun, so I'm gonna do it. I don't know if it's correct. I'm curious what the plan is here. Oh, hey, the bauble makes sense. I didn't know that you could do that. Now I do. Of course, our opponent saw their bauble and dungeon on turn 3, of course. So it's probably going to be a 3-3 outcome here. But good on our opponent to see that interaction. I don't even know why I didn't look. Like, Sirens in the Kingdom. Maybe it's because this match has gone on for 3 hours. You know, I got excuses. There's no way to trash curses, I don't think. Pretty wild for our opponent to go Dungeon Bauble and not Page Bauble, though. Having curses in the deck and then being attacked by Rabble would be really nasty. That we can avoid. The curses will probably pile. So this was unlucky. So next turn we get a Siren. This turn I guess we get another dungeon. It's good to have 2 of them. I don't particularly care about there being another page up the line. I don't think that's particularly important. But we might be able to get a page here anyway. Doesn't look like it. Like, yeah, doesn't look like it. So let's go favorite top deck. Oh, this is very nice to see our bauble here. We are getting cursed. Big cursed. Maybe we can't stop the curses. That seems likely. How did our opponent freaking find the university? Man, this is messed up. This is messed up. This is messed up. Opponent's got almost perfect draws. I don't mind these draws. Alright, so this will be Border Village, Rabble, probably. Could go Border Village, Throne Room, but... yeah, probably should have been Throne Room. Unclear. Yeah, our opponents has got this Circle of Witches whenever they want it. So they can win the curse split 6-4, it looks like. Alright, well this turn wasn't great from our opponent. Thankfully. Next turn they'll have University Rabble most likely. Okay. Thank you, Border Village. I want to play the Siren. It's pretty important. Close, but no cigar. So this can be top decked. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, that was it. Our opponent didn't have any actions. That's great for me. Hmm. Oh, and they don't have the bauble either. Ooh, this is great. That's less good for me, but I do have a populate. No, I don't. I'm very close to a populate, but I don't have it. Wow, that was a really crappy set of draws. Because we have down there Border Village, Dungeon, Hero. Maybe we just don't have a lot of stuff. Hmm. We didn't get to our dungeon. That's pretty unfortunate. Um, I want... I really want the top decking, I'm pretty sure. Then again, my hero could get discarded. Do we even need the plus buy? Hmm. I think I just go for favor top decking. Trashed my dungeon. That's annoying. Oh, I didn't get to play my siren? Oh boy. Oh, that's really unlucky. Hmm. Let's go. Gotta be gold. And then this is probably Rapple, since, we're getting a champion. I can see this being bad, but alright, so we split 5-5. Not bad, considering how the early turns went. I have no more complaints about my opponent's luck. It's evened out, and then some, perhaps. Yeah, Bobble surprisingly good here. The top decking mode, obviously with the Siren interaction, but then also just these decks are really messy, so top decking has helped me out. So piles are getting a little bit low. We're at to get champion right after the curses run. So our opponent never actually got the Circle of Witches off. I think, yeah. I mean, they never would have gotten a second one, so. We can play with a bunch of dungeons. Because we have a bunch of junk. Let's go. So do we want to top deck here? That's probably correct. And we don't need the extra siren. Don't think that does anything. I don't know how important it is to get a bauble or a page. Um, Page seems definitely not useful. Is a bauble better than nothing? Hmm. Get us up to 4 buys? It might be relevant. The piles are getting pretty low. Let's go ahead and do that. Both like dungeon and border village. Like border dungeon, siren, border village are all potential third piles. Hmm. Probably makes sense to throne the rabble, but we have a better chance of winning if we throne the university. So university can't gain border village. Um, Important to note it. Yeah, I think we want to throne the rabble. Oh yeah, I get the rabble attack off, which is big. I think we probably don't want to trigger. Alright, so now we can get up to 4 buys. Don't think we have the money to empty. We have up to 18, which is not enough to empty border villages. It's enough to empty dungeons, but we don't have enough buys to actually get any points on top of that. So I think we just get 2 provinces. Just try to play it safe. Could top deck a dungeon. Just get a duchy on top. I don't think I want any of those. Alright, we managed to win 4-2. Good outcome. And we've got, I guess, 2 more matches left? Yeah. In the season. So I'll see you in the next one.